Ready?
Yeet, yeet.
Yeet, yeet. What am I talking about again? I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So for all you people out there that were so excited to see the brand new Ford Broncos, I have something even a little bit better for you here today. I have the all new Ford Bronco Raptor, and I want to tell you guys all the things that I love about it and all the things that I hate about it. Setting this thing butt naked earlier, and like they were super nice on the skin. It's so smooth, man. First thing we're gonna start with is the engine on this thing. This thing has a 3 liter V6 EcoBoost engine. This engine is very, very powerful. The specs on this engine is 418 horsepower and 440 feet-pound of torque. That is a lot coming out of a V6 engine, especially in this small truck. So I will say that I'm not super crazy about the fact they do not put engine covers. It looks really junky up here, but from what I can see, it does seem to be a little bit better than working on some of the previous engines that we've had recently. Start. That's base bones. No. Okay. Come on. This thing actually is really, really, really fast. It surprised the hell out of me when I drove it for the first time. This thing would do 0 to 60 at less than 6 seconds. In case you're thinking that you're just some light, Honda Civic rolling down the road at 0 to 60 in less than 6 seconds, you're not. This thing is very heavy. It is a full frame vehicle. It is 5,700 pounds almost. Behind this 3.0 V6 engine, we have a 10-speed transmission. I'm actually not sure if this is the 10R60 or the 10R80, but they're basically the same exact thing. The 60 is just a little bit smaller. Verified that it is a 10R60. Just apparently didn't Google it earlier. I really like the 10-speed transmission. A lot of people, it takes a lot of getting used to. A lot of people don't like it at first, but I feel like they've been pretty durable considering the amount of power we're putting through them nowadays. 10 speeds, especially fuel mileage and for power reasons, I'd say they're a pretty good transmission. I really like the 10-speed line that Ford is putting with the 10R60, 10R80, and the 10R140 in the Broncos, Explorers, F-150s, and the F-Series, the 250 up trucks. From the factory, this thing comes stock with 37 by 1250 on a 17-inch wheel. These tires are massive, especially coming from the factory. As you see here, we have BFGs. These things are super, super meaty. I really like the BFG tires. They're not very noisy on the road, but from the factory, this is probably the biggest tire I've ever seen a manufacturer put on a vehicle stock. I did not realize that the Bronco Raptor was going to be so much wider in a stance than what the regular Bronco was. I want to show you on this lift here. You can see that this side of the tire right here is hanging off on this side. This side is also pretty much hanging off. It's really close. I want to tell you that F-250 has the same stance as this Bronco. And F-250 is just as wide on this same lift as what this Bronco is, which really surprised me considering I figured this was going to be smaller. I think a lot of it's in the wheels and tires that make it stick out so much. It has some offset on the wheels, but that is something I really did like about this, the fact that it has a wide stance. I might want to drive no damn Kia Soul. Like, this is a Bronco Raptor, not a Kia Soul. Toaster driving around on wheels. All right. In case you were planning on taking these things at very high speeds out on the road, hate to break it to you, probably not happening. This thing has 4.7 gear ratio, 470 gears in this thing, which is massive. This thing also has lockers on the front axle and lockers on the rear axle, so you're probably not gonna get stuck. If you're getting this thing stuck, you probably are somewhere you don't need to be. If you're buying a Ford Bronco Raptor, I hope you're buying it for the intention of using it off-road and not for the intention of towing, because I hate to break the news to you, this thing is only capable of pulling up to 4,500 pounds. I think the F-150 is somewhere around 10 to 12,000, so this is a huge setback, and I believe the major reasons that they set the towing capacity back so far on this, because it has the engine, has the transmission to do it, it's the suspension. They set the suspension up on this thing so soft for off-road use that you're going to be actually using this vehicle for. So towing is definitely not what I would be buying this for. If you're going to tow, buy a 150 or a 250. 250 probably. If you've never heard of Fox shocks are some of the top of the line shocks you can get. They've been on the Raptor since they come out. These shocks probably cost about as much as my house. Hope you got some money tucked back if you're out of warranty. Don't know if you can quite see it with the light here, but these things are super, super wicked looking. Controlled by a computer on control ride height. We have 13.5 inches of travel in the front and 14.5 inches of travel in the back on the suspension. We also have Fox coilovers on the back, which is super, super great on any kind of off-road vehicle. You definitely don't want leaf springs and you want coilovers. You don't want coil springs with separate shocks. Coilovers are just much more durable. This has a lot of similarities between the original Raptors. You'll see the marker lights in the grille. That was something that was only on the F-150 Raptors. This grille matches the same almost style of grill that the original Raptors had, and the BFG tires were also the ones that came on the original Raptor. So it has a lot of similarities. Kind of like they use the name because Raptors are a real popular name in the car world. I'm a real big fan of paddle shifters. You know, I like watch Fast and Furious too, you know, just so I'll show you those real quick on the inside. Right here we have the minus paddle shifter. This is going to make us go slower. Plus paddle shifter gonna make us go fast here. One thing that I am super stoked about that they're doing more and more on vehicles from the factory, and this is mainly because you people and your wiring skills are awful. You need to stop wiring up toggle switches in your brand new $80,000 vehicles. They're ugly. You drill holes in your dash. I hate it. Up here we have pre-wired auxiliary switches. These are already wired outside under the hood with a relay. So all you have to do is tap into that wiring, and you can use any of these aux switches for any aftermarket accessories you want to put on this thing. Which, by the way, aftermarket accessory world for this thing is absolutely insane. I could make this video 4 hours talking about aftermarket accessories for the Bronco. So we're gonna skip over a lot of that. We have some adaptive steering here. We can change the steering modes on this vehicle. Have to be calm. You see we're in normal steering mode. We also have comfort steering mode, and we have sport steering mode. Along with that, this R button has to do with the next thing we're gonna be talking about, and that is the different drive modes for this Bronco. This R button, you can actually customize any personal drive mode or any kind of features that you want to one-click button, which I really like, because if there's a mode or something that you use a lot, if you're doing a lot of off-road riding, you can click this one button and it's gonna go immediately to that mode with the correct exhaust, correct steering that you want for your driving. You see it pop up here. This is gonna be normal damper. This is gonna be your suspension, sport, and off-road. We have a normal exhaust mode, we have a sport exhaust mode, and we have a Baja exhaust mode. Don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. We also have quiet. Setting this thing butt naked earlier, and like they were super nice on the skin. That is these leather and suede seats. They have some different seating options. These are some of the nicest. Like, just look at this material. Like, there you have it. That is the Ford Bronco. This is a 2022 Ford Bronco Raptor. Peace out, guys.
It'd be great if they still made it though.